right. Good morning, everybody. Love if you can hear me okay on this beautiful Wednesday morning. We're finally feeling some fall. How do we like daylight savings? Personally, I love it. I love it. I love it light in the morning. You guys know how I like to start these things out. I want to hear something good that has happened to you in the past week. Tell me something good that has happened to you. I'm going to open up my chat and I'm here to hear about it. Good morning, everybody. As some people are coming in, I just want to say happy Wednesday. And oh, Lauren got some more sphere of influence leads. We love that. I know, Jenny Bell, it's getting dark early. So when buyers want to show properties after work, you're like, oh, well, do you want to see it in the pitch black darkness? That is a struggle, honestly. But it means we can get home to our families quicker, right? How about something great again? Yes, John, it is official. We have a new president. That's as far as I'm going with that. I am not getting into the politics, but it's a good morning for some, for others, not so much. But that's okay. You know what? We are done with the election. There is no more excuse. Oh, I'm going to wait after the election to buy or sell a house. Guess what? We're past the election. And guess what? We're almost past the hurricanes. The one that's out there brewing is not headed in our direction, which is, good for us. But we're past hurricanes. We're past election. Yes, we are coming into the holiday season. But you know what? Here at Beggins, we are going to work harder than our competition because we have big goals for 2025. Did anybody here have a slower year this year in 2024 than your previous years? I want to see a raise of hands. I want to see some comments. Was it maybe a little slower for you this year? And maybe that had to do with interest rates. Buyers did use election as an excuse. A tad bit slower. Yeah, you know what, Jenny? I did too. I had a slower year, but Pam, she's on fire. This is one of Pam's best years. Some were very slow and some were ramping up. This is their best year ever. And you know what? It's different for every realtor every single year. And you know what makes the difference? The people that put in the work see results from it. Okay, so we are going to talk about putting in the work through this holiday season, putting in the work going into 2025 so that we can start the year strong with no more excuses. We are Beggins. We are better than the competition. We are Century 21. And we need to embed these cultures and these ideas into our everyday of doing work to show up better than our competition. Okay, so we're going to get fired up today. My dad was like, it's okay. You can be hard on them. Like, it's time to be hard on them. Okay, here we go. So I will talk about some of the Jared James notes, but I also want to chat with you guys just about what I've been seeing being a real estate agent feet on the street, like what's going on in the industry. What am I seeing? And then I want you guys to tell me what you're seeing too. So, we're kind of well into getting buyer broker agreements signed, are we not? We've been having to do this since July. So, what are your experiences with it? How is it going? Are you meeting with them in person and explaining the value proposition? Are you explaining what it's like to be a Beggins agent and how I'm going to represent you throughout the transaction? How's that going for you guys? Lauren says that it's not slow for her, but it is challenging that listings are taking longer to sell. However, they eventually do sell. And you're right. You're right, Lauren. They do sell. And knowing that we are only relaying the market information. When we come with a pricing analysis to a seller, we are showing them here's what the average days on market is. We're not making it up. As long as we're setting proper expectations as this is how long it's going to probably take to sell your house, you're not the bad guy. You're just showing what is truly going on in the market, right? It's going great. You've got a raise since the BBA is in place. Yes, Lauren, that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit today. Is kind of my experience with getting that signed and what it's doing. So it looks like some people are still kind of joining us. So I'll tell you this little story. I got a buyer broker agreement signed. So also I want to tell you where I got this lead from. Okay. How we have been telling you guys, and you're hearing it from me. You have to be on video. You've got to be on video. You've got to be on video. Have you heard that? Have you been hearing it for years and years and years? Well, it's more true now than ever. Like if you haven't been on video yet, you guys, you're behind. And I don't say that to be mean. I say that to tell you that video is modern day marketing. Yes, door knocking still works. Yes, cold calling still works, but modern day marketing, okay, we've got to get the millennials are going to be one of the largest home buying generations. Where do millennials spend their time? On social media. Where do the Gen Zers, and I don't even know what the earlier years are called, but we need to be in front of them. We need to be visible. And how do you do that? Video. I'm telling you, video. So the most recent lead I think I've closed 2 this year, and I have like 4 in my pipeline. There is an agent in New Jersey who put a buyer webinar together. Okay. She broadcasts it and she collects leads all around the nation for people who want to buy their first home. It's genius. It's on my to-do list. I got a coach with Chris Reed. This is my announcement. She does this webinar and she gets leads from it. And then she connects with realtors through Instagram all around the United States, and she gets referral fees from them. So yes, sure, she's selling her own business in New Jersey, but I know she's gotten 2 checks from me this year, and I just got somebody else under contract. Okay, so that's where I got this from. I got this lead because I was visible on Instagram to an agent in New Jersey. Okay, you guys can do this too. The more you're visible on Instagram and Facebook and all the things, which now we have Soshi to help you do that automatically, the more you're going to show up to everybody. Okay, it's not just about getting that initial buyer lead and selling a house as soon as you post a video. This is years of hard work and consistency online. Okay, so I get this lead. I go meet her for coffee. I spend an hour with coffee with her. I do the mirror matching. I do the, the active listening, and I'm taking notes and I'm repeating and I'm affirming what she's telling me. And we get this great relationship, right? So then I send the BBA for her to sign. Guess what? I write it at 3% because like we've said before, if another seller is offering 3% and your buyer broker is only signed for 2%, you're only going to get paid 2%. Because how are you going to go back to that buyer and be like, you know what, actually, can I get paid more on this transaction? No, that's too hard. It's too hard. Just be upfront and show your value. So we did a great job putting together a buyer value proposition that you can use on Moxie. You can print it out. I gave mine away yesterday, but you've got to put it in a nice shiny package. Okay. We have to show up better than our competition. So get it signed at 3%. So then I go to write an offer. We show a property and I write the offer and I ask the other agent, is the seller offering buyer agent compensation? And he says, yes, they're offering 2%. Like, cool. Okay. Well, you know what I did when I wrote the offer, and this other agent, I was lucky. He was great at communicating with me. There was another buyer interested that was verbally offering, he said, in the low 350s. He gave me like way too many details, but it worked out in my favor. So I used the FF addendum and I wrote in that the seller is to pay my compensation at 3%. And by knowing what the other offer was, because the agent was giving me all this information, by having a good relationship with the other agent, I got that contract accepted for the buyer at $10,000 under asking price, and the seller is paying my full 3% commission. Is that a win? Is that a win not only for me, we're getting a raise, and you guys have stories just like this. We are literally giving ourselves a raise. If this was 6 months ago, I'd be getting paid 2%, and then I'd be paying a referral fee to the New Jersey webinar agent. But now, because we can negotiate our commission, negotiate it higher. Okay, just do it. It doesn't hurt to ask. Okay. It doesn't hurt to ask. Lauren says, always start at 3. Do not sell yourself short. All right. So don't do it. Don't do it. Let's hold our value. Yesterday, I was on a listing preview. And so I chatted with them and we went over the seller preview packet that we have in Moxie. I printed it out so that they had a leave behind. I was mirror matching. I was actively listening, taking notes throughout the entire, I was there for an hour on the preview. And I sat down with them, and as I was going through what we have, one of the pages is 11 questions to ask your realtor. So I did it. And I'm not the big D personality. Like, I get scared to talk to people sometimes. So, all right. But I did it. I was like, are you by chance interviewing any other real estate agents? And she said, well, we are. And I have a feeling he's way less expensive than you're going to be. He's only charging 1%. And I was like, okay. Yeah. I said, well, at Century 21 Beggins, we do charge 3% to represent you and market your home throughout the transaction. And, you're getting so much more than I'm sure what that guy is, willing to offer. And charging 1% to what? To put your house on the market and then walk away from it. We've got a hand-holding experience. We talked about single agency. We have so much in our back pocket to provide value. And by the end, I was literally getting hugs and they were like, we love you. Thank you so much. They're a past client of mine from 4 years ago. They were a Navy Federal Credit Union lead, right? So I've stayed in touch with them through Preferred Client Club is really the only touch point that I've had with them. And the wife does follow me on Instagram. So that kind of keeps us together. She's like, I love your videos. It's like, cool. Um, but Stephanie Berry says they're overpaying at 1%. They can pay $600 to get on the MLS. That's a good one, Stephanie. We should say that. Yeah, sure. If you want to list it, you're overpaying at 1%, but you're not just hiring me at 3%. You're hiring my entire team. We have an entire back office for quality assurance and compliance, and Century 21 is a global marketing powerhouse. Your listing is going on over 170 different websites. Anywhere a buyer is looking, your property is going to be seen. You're going to have maximum exposure, and I'm going to be hand-holding throughout the entire process. I will handle everything for you, and I have resources to make this a smooth transaction and make sure that we get to the closing table on the first try. Can you guys say that? Can you say that to a seller? If you can, awesome. You are going to win in 2025. And if you can't yet, I want you to like play that on a loop. Okay. Jack Keller in Largo does it for you. You can give them that name so it allows you to be in the know. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of just like a little like, okay, if you want to do that, that's fine. But here's what I can do for you. And then go through the rest of the presentation. We have all of these resources available for you. So those are just some of my wins that I kind of wanted to share that have pumped me up recently, because just like some of you, I was down after the hurricane. I was extremely stressed. It was an awful experience all the way around. And, we're housing family to help those who have flooded. And I know we're all in the same boat together, and it's awful. But we are on the up. Okay. We are on the up, and we are resilient, and we are going to make it through. So it's nice to know that in the past week or two, we're coming back into business and it feels good. So I hope you guys are feeling the same thing. And those are just some of my wins that I wanted to share, because I know we all have some wins. So keep chatting them in so that we can all tell each other about it, because it's important for us to feed off of each other's energy, right? All right. So those are some good things. And then I want to touch on some things from the Jared James conference. This was back in September, and we had a couple Beggins agents there with us. And Jared actually went live on Facebook earlier this week, and he was doing 2025 business planning. And one of the things that he hit on again was, you have to be boring. You have to be boring to then be successful. You've got to do the boring stuff. All right. We talk about this too. You got to be in a rhythm. You have to have consistency. And you're like, okay, I'm tired of hearing about consistency. I know, but it's what's going to get you to the next level. And as we talked about 2 Wednesdays ago, there's 3 different levels. And this is where my dad has kind of been talking about this over the past couple of days. There's 3 different levels of where you can be in your business. And one of the levels is between 0 and 20 transactions. Between 0 and 20 transactions, you are using your time to get to the next level, to earn income, right? You can earn it. You can, all the things my dad's been talking about. So from 0 to 20, you're using your time. You are hustling. From 20 to 50 transactions, if this is where you find yourself, it's okay to start spending a little bit of money, maybe hiring a transaction coordinator, maybe When I was in Las Vegas earlier this year, I got to meet with a Century 21 broker from South Carolina. And he was telling me, he's like, okay, you're consistently selling 27 houses a year. He's like, you need an assistant. And I was like, okay. And, I think it's okay to talk about this. And I think it's okay to, if you want to take your business to the next level, what's a way that we can do that? Do I need to be driving an hour to take a lockbox off of a house? Or do I need to be spending that hour creating content and being visible online? Is my time more worth generating business and doing business generating activities, or is it driving an hour to pick up a lockbox to drive back home? Is it okay if maybe I hire somebody to do that? Maybe. And that's something that I'm going to start thinking about in this next coming year is how do I get help so that I can grow to the next business or to the next step? And how do some of us as agents, there's a lot of you on here that I went to Beggins University with when I started, and I'm 9 years in. So at 9 years in, my client yesterday, she was actually laughing. She was like, I knew you charged 3% back then, so I just assumed that you would charge more now because you've been in the business longer and more experience. And she was like, you're so professional and all the things. And I was like, thank you. And you know what? We do deserve to get a raise, and we do deserve to have a promotion. How do we give ourselves a promotion as a real estate agent? We do it by growing our business and treating this as an actual business and getting the LLC, getting the S Corp, talking with a tax attorney. All of these things are important because we need to run our real estate business as an actual business. And that's what's going to take you to the next level. And that's what Jared was really hitting on during the whole entire seminar, that this is a relationship based business, and depending on what level you are on is what you can do and shift your time and your money and your resources to then grow to the next level. How many of us on this call want to grow to the next level in 2025? We've got 57 people on here. How many of you? I'm seeing 7 hands raised. Yes, me. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, well, we're going to level up at Beggins. We're good at bringing in new people and training them our ways, but we got to go to the next level. So that's what we're here for, and we have a great team to get us to do it. Claudia, Maggie, Lisa, yes. Stephanie, yes. Lauren, Nick, yes, yes, yes. We all want to go to the next level. So how do we do that? A couple weeks ago, we talked about like 8 different ways to get business in this market. And I'm not going to repeat myself there, but they all come back to one thing, and it's creating genuine relationships with people and being visible in front of them. And like I said before, if we are not on video, you're behind and you got to catch up. Okay. Now, the postcards that we talked about a couple days ago and RSP farming and all those things, one thing that I took from the Jared James conference is when you're doing those things in the postcards and you're printing and you're doing leave behinds, the quality has to be good. Like, if someone is going to pay you, say this listing is $600,000 and I'm charging 3%, these people are paying me $18,000 to sell their house. Do you think that my marketing material should be printed off at the office? Or should I maybe get some quality paper and quality ink on this listing? Should I have the drone videos? Should I have the social media ads going? Should I be spending money to get engagement and attraction on this listing? Yes. And that's where I think sometimes we miss the boat, is our marketing efforts. We are in a new world where marketing is extremely important. And so they were talking at the Jared James conference. Nick actually says you can still print quality at the office, just put it in better paper. That's true. That's true. And Michael Clayman mentioned Zillow Showcase. Yes, absolutely. It's a great way to stand out versus the competition, and tell them on your listing appointment, this costs me money. This is why we charge more, because you are getting more. And it's okay to tell them that. Lauren chatted in. She said, first steps with saving yourself time is making sure you have a transaction coordinator. They work the minute, so you don't have to. Like Craig says, if you don't have an assistant, you are the assistant. Yes, 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 yes. If there's anything I've learned over the past couple of years, it's that having a transaction coordinator literally is a game changer. because you can be driving to your next appointment, and instead of spending time populating a document with e-signatures, you can call your transaction coordinator and they can do it for you. It's worth it. This is what we're talking about, trading time for money to grow to the next step. How do you do that? You start with a transaction coordinator. That's your first step. If you don't have one yet, you need one. Even if you've only sold 4 houses, I don't care. You need a transaction coordinator. Yes, it's great that you know how to do it. And Sammy in the back office is probably reeling right now. She's like, oh my God, they need to know how to do things on their own. And I know, Sammy, we do. But we're going to sell more business if we have a TC. Okay. Our TCs are awesome on the Beggin side. There's tons of resources out there to provide for transaction coordinators. All right. So we love that. Being visible. Another thing, we've got about 9 minutes left. How many of you have heard about the Core 100 that Jared James talks about? If you've heard about it, raise your hand. I want to hear. We've got hands going up. If you've heard about the Core 100 from Jared James, put your hand up or chat in. Yes, I've heard about it. The Core 100 is something that I heard years ago from Jared James, and poo-poo on me, I still haven't implemented it, but I'm here for 2025. Okay. We're all going to do this together. The Core 100 is 100 people in your sphere that don't sell real estate. They each do something completely different. This is a hairdresser. This is a tax accountant. This is a roofer, an AC person, a plumber, an electrician, a painter, a landscaper, a sprinkler irrigation repair person. I could go on. 100 different people. And the goal here with Core 100 is to create a genuine relationship with these people. It's almost like creating your own BNI network, right? It's great to join one of those. That's a great way to get to a Core 100. Usually they limit the number of people in that field, or they only allow one at a time. So that's a great way. If you can join a BNI group and you are the one realtor, do it. And the goal there is to create relationships with these people so that when that roofer needs to sell their house or has a friend that needs to sell their house, that roofer is calling you the same amount of times that you are calling that roofer as a referral. The goal here is to change referrals between people and create genuine relationships. And then what you can do with that information is you can create a Facebook group, and everybody joins the Facebook group, and you can all share referrals in the Facebook group. But you know what else you can do? You can invite your clients to that Facebook group. And now you're creating an entire community based off of the relationships that you have built and cultivated over the years. Your buyers are in the Facebook group. You are chatting in, hey guys, I just added a new person to the group. They do roofs. This is their forte. You can get paid at closing if you've got to sell your house, work with this roofer. Now you're providing genuine information for people, right? You're creating relationships, you're cultivating the relationships, you're having touch points with people without actually having to call them one-on-one. You could use that Facebook group to do interviews with the people. Like, hey, I want to bring this roofer on and say, what are you seeing after these hurricanes? Let's just have a 10-minute chat about it on Facebook Live for my community. These are people that I've bought and sold houses for. I want to make you visible. And now you're sharing so much value when you do this. So Core 100 is something that I think all of us need to focus on in 2025, because if you have a relationship with your clients, they aren't going to shop you. They aren't going to combat your commission at 3%. They're going to sign your buyer broker agreement. They are going to send referrals to you because you are providing value to them. Okay. And so one of the things he said too was value. The definition of value is the relevance to the client plus the experience that you give them. Okay. That's what Jared James explained the definition of value. It's the relevance to the client. So if you are providing resources to your client, monthly, weekly, you're in that Facebook group, you're doing things, you're giving them value, and you're creating a really awesome experience for them, right? You're responding to them on time. You've got these resources. How many people have you heard about in the past like 2-3 weeks have had people just completely cancel their appointments on them? They're like, I called a roofer, they never showed up. I called a plumber, they never showed up. I called this remediation person, they never showed up. What if you could guarantee that you have these awesome resources? Come to me with whatever you need. I know 100 people in 100 different fields, and I'm going to get you connected with who you need. Is that valuable? That is so valuable. There is not another realtor in the community that's doing that. So if you can start that in your community, you're going to be on top, on fire, I promise. And then not only are you in a private Facebook group where people have to be a client to be involved, now you're creating a little FOMO like, oh, I want to be in that group. Share what's going on in your group publicly as hints of what it looks like to be a client with you. This all goes around being visible, right? We have to be visible and we have to create genuine relationships and partnerships with people. That is going to get you success in 2025. Lauren says she was in B&I. It was too much money, little return. She did get one of her inspectors and an accountant from there. Yes. So that's great, Lauren. And sometimes you do join a group and it's not working for you. But if you can use it to your advantage and get those resources, get them sharing back referrals with you. Jared James has a script for this. And you know what? Maybe I'll find it and I'll send it out. I'll have my mom send it out with this recording. There's actually a script on how to communicate with another referral source like that and be like, look, I really want to be a partner with you on this thing, but my goal from this is that I receive from you as much as I put in. Like I wanted to put in a ton of effort towards my relationship with you and sending you referrals, but in return, I ask that I am the realtor that you come to. And that's how you build your core 100. These aren't people that you are sending tons of referrals with and they're not giving anything back to you. That's not a relationship. That's you feeding them business and they're happy about it. And then they go sell their house with a different realtor. We don't want that. These are genuine relationships that you have to build. Okay. Does that make sense? What do you guys think about the core 100? Some of you have heard about it. Some of you hadn't. So what do you think? Does it sound doable? Lauren says she prides herself to be the one-stop shop. Yep, exactly. And your clients love you for that. Pam says she loves it. Nick says it's invaluable to have that level of network. It really is. What do people say? It's all about who you know. It is. It's about who you know. So get out there and talk to people, create relationships, show your value. Okay. We have tons of resources here at Beggins to show our value. Okay. We've got the new buyer presentation. Oh yeah, Zoom likes it. Sitting down with a buyer in person and showing them what we can do to represent them throughout the transaction. Use some of your statistics. I've closed 5 buyers this year and each buyer got the house $5,000 under asking. I was able to negotiate in their favor. I was able to have X amount of sellers pay the commission for my buyers. I'm going to do my best to make sure that this does not come out of your pocket. Show some of your statistics from the past. It's okay. And if you don't have any, you have Beggins as a resource and you have Century 21. Use the name Century 21. That's why you're here, right? What do you guys think? It's about who you know that likes you. Yes. But that's why using some sales skills during these interactions with people, you've got to mirror match them. You go into neutral, right? You become them. And you got to be a little salesy to create these relationships and genuinely care about the people, but also become them, get into their world, and only do business with people that you like. Okay. It's great if they like you back, but I also want you to build this referral network off of people that you can confidently refer business to. 100% about rapport. Yep. Be helpful, relevant, authentic. Absolutely. So I hope you guys were able to take something out of this today, a little energy behind your next appointments. I've been having success recently. I'm glad that I got to share it with you. I'm glad that a lot of you have also been having success. We are past election. We are past hurricanes. We are moving on. Okay. Everyone loves the holidays. Let's be visible during the holidays. Golden nuggets for sure. Awesome. All right, we're going to create, just to recap, we're going to create a Facebook group for our core 100. We are going to try to find 100 different fields that will be a referral resource for you, and you add your clients to this. That's golden. Golden. You have to do it. That is perfect. Okay. That's what we're doing. We're creating a Facebook group. We're going to be visible. We're going to get on video, because if you're not on video, you're behind. It's that simple. We have lots of people in our office that can help you be on video. What does that look like? How do you set up the microphone? How do you set up the video, like lighting and everything? And we can get through that. We have tons of resources, and you guys know that. You're part of the Beggins fam. So anything you need, we've got your back, but we are here to ramp up for 2025. We are not slowing down, because we are Beggins agents. We're going to take over the market. All these new listings that we see going up with different companies, and my dad mentioned Serhant. No, nope, 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 nope. Time to stand out from the competition. Thank you guys for being here today. It is 9:31. I'm wrapping up, and I'm heading downstairs to Joe's meeting. And awesome. Good luck on all of your appointments this week. I can't wait to see you soon. Bye, everybody.